tried and it didn't work. It didn't work for you. Like whether it be your email or your password, let me know. But a lot of people are getting in just fine now. Yesterday, if you got in, I didn't load any of the videos or assignments, but they're in there now. So if you were trying to bring up if your quiz grade was less than a 60, you can start working on that. But remember, everybody, no matter what, gets 3 extra credit points just for joining. Yeah, what? So if you can flip in your notebook to any day between 11 and 16, you might be able to find one of the properties we listed. So your chapter 1 test is tomorrow, and next week you will have a bell work quiz, which is like a notebook check almost. I'm curious how you guys can sit back to the first and second day of school and find any of the work we did when we listed properties. If you didn't, maybe it's because you started with a different notebook or you use loose leaves. If you can find all that stuff for your Bellwork quiz next week, it would be good. Alright, so I hope some of you guys started this long assignment last night. Today I have all of the work and the answers up here for you to check. So you're working on this in class, and you're doing it totally on your own. And then you're going to look up and check the answers. You're going to try to correct it. If you can't correct it, you can ask a question. Just raise your hand and ask a question. So everybody has a chance to prepare for the test. Obviously, the last half of the assignment is more difficult than the first half. So if you haven't started yet, you might want to start with like number 27. So you're doing the hardest problems in class and the easiest ones by yourself. Does that make sense?
I do the easy ones in class.
Well, then you can't like ask questions about the hard ones. That's what you want. I said do the hardest ones in class.
Oh, I thought you said.
No, you said it. Oh, that's what I meant. All right. Okay. You know what I'll do is I'll help you come up with these properties by showing you examples. Here's one. What property is that -4 called? Subtraction property of equality. Very good. So there's the subtraction property of equality. You could have listed that. All right, let me show you another one. This orange move I do is an example of a property. If I do it to both sides, what's it called? Addition property of equality. All right, I'll do another example. All right, in this problem, if I wanted to get the x alone, I would divide both sides by 5. So what's that property, Giovanni? The division property of equality. Okay, and then the last one we did looks like this. This time to get epsilon, I would multiply by 10. So what property is that?
Multiplication.
Multiplication property of equality. So tomorrow, on the first part of your quiz, just like in the book review, the question, the direction says solve each equation, and then it says justify your work. I'm going to put on your test more to this. I'm going to say by listing properties. And these are the properties that I'm looking for. There's also a distributive property. I hope you thought of that. So, all right. So before I really get into the assignment, are there any questions about the properties? All right. Before I get into the assignment, you have my permission to kind of talk. Alright, so I'm here with you, and your conversations are no longer about books, so you must be ready to go. Here's the assignment. I have all the problems and work ready to show you, but I'm not going to show you until you guys have been working quietly for like 20 minutes. Yeah, you probably already ripped them out yesterday, so you don't even really need to find your book, but you have a question? There is a stapler on the back table. Emma left. Right here. She's not looking for her book though. No, if you already have the pages, don't worry. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I do want you guys to know that this QR code has been working. I noticed that some of them aren't perfect, but a lot of them are. So, for instance, if you start working on these absolute value equations and you can't remember how to do it, if you're in the online book, you can watch this video. But if you're not, you do this QR code. So if you have the pages ripped out at home, you can take your phone and it'll take you to a list of different videos. And then you can watch that video right on your phone. So that's a lot easier than going through Schoology. So I have seen this working for people. So if you need help, you can at home. So right now I don't do it. So get started. Work.
Just go down to number 3.
So, if you're not sure, if you get stuck on a problem like number 3,
No, I finished number 3. I just want to make sure my answer's correct.
Just move on to number 4. I'll show the answers in a little while.
Okay.
And before asking, I want you guys to go to these pages. You see where they list the page numbers? All of these problems have examples on pages 3 to 10. So open your book on pages 3 to 10 and look at the examples in the book. Once I put the work up, you're going to be, really tempted just to copy what I do, and that's not the best test prep. You've already copied what I've done kind of a lot. So look in your book and see how the book explains it, and maybe it'll help you remember it. There is a problem that ends up, at some point it looks like this. It's just a negative variable. If it helps, you could write it as -1 times b, and then maybe you'll see the right thing is to divide by -1. Stay quiet, you can do it. Keep working. There's a lot of people in here who benefit from just being able to ask me questions and then we look at their work. So stay quiet, work on your own pace. No. Consider that negative, like negative 1 times. So what's the opposite of multiply?
Divide.
So just divide both sides by -1.
Okay. That's your last. So you have to supply variable there's of one in front of it. Yeah. Correct. So it'd be adding one and
A few more minutes, I'm going to start showing answers, or I can even jump to this one where we can help problem. I've had like 4 people ask me about the same problem, so I'm going to go to it. It's okay if you're not this far. It's 21. What number was it? So, Kayla, I guess what I want you to do is, like the way you're putting it in your calculator, maybe it's easier just to get a common denominator. Like, when I have to do 2y minus 1/3 y, I just need to make this 2 a common denominator. So that would be 6/3y. minus 1/3 y. And then I get there, and then it's no longer a mixed number. Oh, here's your answer. This is what